A flick on the forehead. That's all it took. One tiny, playful tap from his mother, and Shohei Ohtani, the man who throws 100 miles per hour fastballs, hits moonshot home runs, and is quietly rewriting the entire history of baseball, turned into a blushing, wide-eyed kid again. That moment, captured and shared online, exploded across social media within hours. Millions of people watched it on loop. Not because of a strikeout. Not because of a walk-off. But because for one brief second, the most dominant athlete on the planet looked exactly like the rest of us, a son, caught off guard by his mom. And now there's a second child on the way. Ohtani's father has reportedly been buying baby clothes in bulk. Friends close to the family say he hasn't been able to stop. The baby looks just like Ohtani. He keeps telling people, pointing at tiny onesies like he's found something sacred. Meanwhile, Ohtani himself sat down with his mother to talk about the birth, quietly, privately, the way this family has always handled the most important moments in their lives. Today, we're going to talk about all of it. The small family celebration that happened behind closed doors. The viral forehead flick that the internet simply cannot get enough of. And what this new chapter means for a man who is already carrying the weight of baseball history on his shoulders. What do you think when you see that kind of moment, Ohtani's mother flicking him on the forehead, and his reaction going viral like that? Honestly, it tells you everything about who Shohei Ohtani really is as a person, and I think that's why it resonated so deeply with people all around the world. Think about it. We watch this man on the mound every 5 days, completely in control. Ice cold. The bases are loaded, it's the 6th inning, the crowd is deafening, and Ohtani looks like he's calculating a math problem, not facing the best hitters in the world. He does not flinch. He does not panic. And then his mother reaches over and gives him a little flick on the forehead, and suddenly that entire composure just melts. His eyes went wide. He pulled back. He laughed in a way that wasn't a press conference laugh or a post-game interview laugh. It was a real, unguarded, boyish laugh. The kind of laugh that doesn't happen in front of cameras very often. And people felt that. People connected to that instantly. That's the thing about Ohtani. He is genuinely extraordinary on the field, but these personal moments remind people that he's also genuinely human. That combination is incredibly rare in elite athletes. Most people at his level have built so many walls between themselves and the public that you never really feel like you know them. Ohtani is different. Even when he's being private, and he is a private person, these small moments still come through. And when they do, the world stops and watches. And now there's a second child coming. His father buying all those baby clothes, saying the baby looks just like Ohtani. What does that image say to you? It says that Ohtani's father is doing what every proud grandfather does, except he happens to be the father of the most famous baseball player alive right now, so the whole world gets to witness it. But beyond the humor of it, I think there's something genuinely moving about that image. Here is a man who raised Shohei from a child, who drove him to practice, who watched him throw baseballs in a backyard somewhere in Iwate Prefecture with a dream that maybe, just maybe, his son could be something special. And now that son is a 2-time MVP, possibly on his way to a Cy Young Award, a World Series champion, and is about to become a father for the 2nd time. If you're Ohtani's father standing in a baby clothes store, looking at tiny outfits and thinking, "This baby looks just like my son," I imagine that feeling is almost impossible to put into words. It's the entire journey of parenthood arriving at once. All those years, all those sacrifices, all that belief, and now there is a new generation beginning. And Ohtani's father is doing what any grandfather would do. He's buying everything in sight. Every little outfit. Every little hat. Because how could you not? The conversation Ohtani had with his mother about the birth, that kind of private family moment, doesn't usually become public. What do you think it means that people are so interested in it? It means people don't just follow Ohtani the baseball player. They follow Ohtani the person. And I think that distinction is extremely important. There are plenty of elite athletes who have enormous fan bases built purely on performance. You watch them play, you admire what they can do, and then the game ends and the connection ends. That's a perfectly normal kind of fandom. But what Ohtani has built is something deeper than that. His fans genuinely care about his life. They want to know how he feels when he talks to his mother about his growing family. They want to know what he said, what she said, whether he was nervous or excited or both at the same time. They are emotionally invested in him as a human being, not just as a pitcher or a hitter. That level of connection is extraordinarily rare. And Ohtani has earned it not by being loud or flashy or constantly performing for the camera. He's earned it by being authentic in the moments when he doesn't realize anyone is watching. That forehead flick from his mother is the perfect example. It wasn't staged. It wasn't a media moment. It was just a mother and her son. And the world fell in love with it. From a fan's perspective, why does a moment like the forehead flick feel so significant? Why does something so small become a massive social media moment? Because we are all starving for authenticity. Think about how much content we consume every single day. Highlight reels, press conferences, sponsored posts, carefully managed public images. Everything is polished. Everything is controlled. Everything is designed to make you feel a certain way about a certain person or a certain brand. And then a mother flicks her son on the forehead, and he reacts like a 10-year-old, and it cuts through every single layer of that noise instantly. That moment wasn't produced. Nobody scripted it. Nobody approved it. It just happened. And in a world where almost nothing just happens anymore, that rawness is almost shocking. It's jarring in the best possible way. Your brain recognizes it immediately as real, and you respond to it emotionally before you even have a chance to think about it. That's why it went viral. That's why people watched it over and over again. Because it reminded them that behind the ERA of 0.74, behind the MVP awards, behind the baseball card numbers and the Hall of Fame projections, there is just a son sitting next to his mom. And his mom still flicks him on the forehead. And he still reacts like it's the most embarrassing thing that has ever happened to him. That's not a baseball moment. That's a human moment. And human moments travel farther than any highlight ever could. So what does this new chapter, a second child, the family celebrations, the father loading up on baby clothes, what does all of this mean for Ohtani going forward, both personally and on the field? I think it means he's more grounded than ever. And for a competitor at his level, that's actually one of the most important factors in sustained greatness. There's a version of Ohtani's story where the pressure of being the greatest two-way player in baseball history becomes overwhelming. Where the expectations, from Japan, from America, from the entire baseball world, start to feel like a ceiling pressing down on him rather than a sky he can rise into. We've seen that happen to generational talents before. But Ohtani has something anchoring him. He has a family. He has a mother who will flick him on the forehead and a father who will empty a baby store because he can't stop seeing his son in a tiny onesie. He has a private life that belongs only to him, that no ERA or MVP vote can touch. And now there will be a second child. A new face. A new laugh. A new reason to come home and be completely, entirely, nothing but a father and a husband and a son. That's not a distraction from greatness. That's the foundation of it. The best athletes in the world are not machines. They are people. And the people who last the longest, who perform the best under pressure, who find a way to be great not just for one season but for a decade, they are almost always the ones who have something real waiting for them when the game is over. Ohtani has that. He has always had that. And right now, somewhere in a store, his father is holding up a tiny baby outfit, smiling at it, and saying, "This baby looks just like Shohei."